Now, I know that some of y'all are probably looking at this like, what is Level trying to insinuate? What he trying to say? I'm saying exactly what I think is the case. I think we unturned into sheep, man. I think we are so conditioned to just follow the beaten path that oftentimes we don't look at the situation for what it is. And to me, I'm looking at this situation while enjoying everything that this system is. There are some things that you just cannot not see and not have questions about. And there are some things we just can't defend, man. Now, I refuse to be a sheep. Yes, I've been a hypocrite. I've done things that I typically probably wouldn't do. I feel like we all have done that, but I mean, I'm just not going to be blind with the stuff. And when people start to bring up real situations, I feel like it's met with sheep mentality. Now, I was going to do this video a day or two ago, but like I said, I ain't always able to get stuff out. But these, to me, there are certain things you just can't defend anymore with the Switch. As successful as it is, you just can't defend some of this stuff. And I think Zelda blinded many of us because we have been waiting on that game so long that, like I said, when you finally get something, you so happy to get it, you bypass the realities of the situation. Now, there's some things we just can't defend with the Switch, and we're giving Nintendo a pass that they don't deserve. While the Switch is successful, they still don't deserve a pass on some of this stuff. First of all, the online situation. There is no justification for the situation with online. How do we already know the price, but don't know how it's going to function and work in actuality? It's been delayed, good, but it still don't explain why I have to use, and that's basically what Reggie said. I don't get to use the device that I have to use a secondary device. And let me explain why this don't make any sense. While paying for online is already a scratch head situation when the internet that they're using is your internet that you already pay for. But not only is Nintendo not utilizing the device that they gave you, they're going to make you use another device that you pay for and then pay for an app on that device to access voice chat. This is not defendable, and it doesn't make sense. And I also believe that this is the reason why many of these games have not been announced, because I believe some of these companies still don't understand how Nintendo is approaching online. But we will get there in a second. So we can't defend this, right? And I'm pretty sure most would agree with that. We have to buy an app. But speaking of apps, here's another thing we can't defend with the Switch. And we need to stop being sheep. Where are the apps? Where is YouTube? Where's internet browser? Where's Netflix, Hulu, and all the other stuff that was available on the Wii U out the door? That's available on the Vita out the door. That's available on just about every other platform. See, we got so lost in Breath of the Wild that we got duped. Just like that wolf flashing that to that sheep, our eyes got big because we saw Breath of the Wild and just bypassed all the stuff that we ain't seeing with the Switch. Not defendable, people. Can't do it. Can't defend that this thing is basically appless. almost 4 months into having this thing, and we don't even know when some of this stuff is coming. Nintendo is still working on it. I defended this. I did. As a blind sheep, I defended this stuff. You can go back and see me. Now I look back on it, I'm like, you know what? Zelda blinded the crap out of me. Yeah, it did. And it blinded all you guys too. Y'all saw Mario Odyssey and lost y'all mind. Give me that system. But look at all the stuff that's missing. So let's stop being blind sheep. Third party. Now, again, people confuse two different situations when folks try to talk about Nintendo and games. There's two problems. One is third party, and we're going to deal with that. And then one was what I was trying to show on my podcast, the Live and Level Gamers podcast last week, which will be on tonight at 8:30. But I'm going to try to explain the differences in what I was saying then and what folks think I'm saying by bringing up third party. There is little leeway that we should be giving Nintendo with third party, just a little bit. But guess what? It's a little bit. If you're willing to show off all these companies that are making games, put up this whole big list of third-party companies that are in partnership with Nintendo and making games, right? You showing that off and you braggadocious about it. And then when it come time to show some games, you don't even show what you have shown? Where's Payday? I think that's the name of that game. We didn't know that was coming. They showed it back in the day at January 12th event. Where was it at E3? Nowhere to be found. Where are all these other third-party games that were in development? Nowhere to be found. No one has anything ready to go. Now, it could be that Nintendo is holding them back from announcing it. That could be a fact. But if it is a fact, and it's a stupid fact. And again, that's Nintendo's fault. If it isn't, why are you painting it as if it is? And then when it's time to show, you don't have nothing to show. Now, a lot of y'all say, well, Nintendo is trying to win back their first party, and that's all that matters. Well, I don't give a care what they're trying to do. As a consumer, you just give me games. I don't care what it is. First party, I'm all happy for it. Third party, if it's good, I think about buying it, but give me games. But Nintendo has little excuse with third parties with me now. I still give them a little space, a little room not to have it like the other two companies, but they should have something more than what they had. That to me is a fact. But I will leave that alone. It's to the point that you can't excuse this stuff. There's no defense for some of this stuff. Now, what I was trying to talk about last week is the fact that, okay, let's forget third party. There's no excuse to be showing me another Kirby. There's no excuse to be showing me another Yoshi. When you have Retro Studios working on games, when you have other games in development that you could have easily talked about and showed. I'm pretty sure Metroid Prime 4 ain't just started in development. I'm pretty sure it's been in development. You could have talked more about that game. You could have showed Samus Run at the actual E3 spotlight, not just in the doggone treehouse. This stuff is not excusable. It's not excusable that you only had 25 minutes of nothingness to show in the spotlight when folks been waiting for E3. Now, I'm gonna tell you, my measurement stick was what you showed at E3. That's what I kept saying when it came to all of it. People, be patient. If Nintendo show up and they explain some of this stuff at E3, then I'm okay. If they don't, then I will get into they behind. And they didn't explain nothing. They didn't explain online. They didn't explain third party. They didn't explain really first party. They didn't explain nothing. They showed you what they showed you on January 12th, and that was it. And a font of a game that's in development that you don't know nothing and don't know when it's coming. And all you like blind sheep saw the dangling from the wolf and bit. Oh, they won E3. It's over. Oh, Nintendo took it. Man, you just don't know how long we've been waiting for this game. Man, they're winning back first. Their fan base, man. They're trying to win us back. All this nonsense, just like sheep. Blind sheep. that was saying the opposite when they was considered black sheep and they're considered enlightened and their mind is open and they can see Nintendo for what it is. They were saying everything that I'm saying, but now that they got what they want, they got their fix. Now all of a sudden it don't matter because they high. They got their high off of Zelda and they lost their mind. They got their high off some trailers of Odyssey and lost their mind. And falling for the okie doke of some of the most egregious realities with this platform, as successful as it is. So no, you can't defend that. And there's many other things that you can't defend. Now, do that mean I don't like my Switch? No, I love my Switch. But what is my Switch offering me as a consumer when I bought it? What is it giving me as a consumer? What is it giving me that my Wii U could not have given me? That's another thing we can't defend. I would go out on a limb to say every game that we have seen so far was probably planned for the Wii U, and some of those games just never saw the light of day. Wasn't gonna see the light of day on the Wii U because of the situation of the Wii U. I would bet that ARMS, and I said this before, was most likely a Wii U game. Of course, Breath of the Wild was definitely a Wii U game. Splatoon 2, okay. It's Splatoon 1 reimagined with some new elements, but it ain't no drastic difference from the first one. So again, what has the Switch given us that the Wii U couldn't have gave us? Graphically or anything. It's nothing that we were playing that we couldn't play on the Switch, on the Wii U. Even Odyssey, as beautiful as that game is, could be done on the Wii U. So it's not out of bounds to say that maybe that game was planned for the Wii U had the Wii U been more successful. So most of the games we got were shelved games for the Wii U. Minus the apps, minus the browser, minus online features, and we got to pay for it. Don't know how voice chat is going to work. Got to use a secondary device to access all this stuff. No, I'm not going to be a blind sheep distracted by starvation, because that's what it is. It's starvation. You dangle some food out in front of a person that's starving, they might forget the dangers and the setbacks and the fact that it might not be done and fully cooked because they starving. You starve a person and you can dangle out a half-cooked chicken leg and they still fight to get to it. And that's what we are. We are starved in gamers, happy for stuff that we should have got maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when we purchased and spent our $299 or $349 on that Wii U. Everything we get now, that's what we thought we was getting with the Wii U. Now we getting it, and we so starved that we gladly overlooked things that should not be, that any other company would have done. You would have called it out and said, that's egregious and y'all spending y'all money on crap. If the Sony fan base got what we got with the Switch, we'll be calling it crap. If Microsoft fan base got what we got with the Switch, we'll be calling it crap. But because we are getting games that we want and seeing games off into the future that we've been dreaming about, we gladly bypass, me included, all these things that should not be. There's no reason why we should not be able to get on the internet. There's no reason we shouldn't have YouTube. There's no reason we shouldn't have Netflix. There's no reason we should have to use a secondary device like our phones that we pay for. So I'm paying for internet and you making me, and now I'm paying for my phone. So not only are you using my internet, you're using my phone and charging me $20. when Sony and Microsoft give you that as a free option. So I'm gonna let it go, man. Stop being sheep. Led to the slaughter, taken full advantage of because of your fandom, nostalgia, and blind loyalty. And again, I love my Switch, but I see the problems with it, and we need to start being honest, or it's going to continue to be a problem, and we can be looking at the same situation once the fix and the high wear off. You're going to look at the system, and if Nintendo don't get their act right, we could be looking at a Wii U again. Now, with that being said, tune into the Live and Level Gamers podcast tonight, where we will be talking about many other topics, not just this topic. And till then, have a good day. Deuces.